Can I tell you that I've never wanted to meet one of my heroes? I've never once wanted to meet someone that is a hero to me. You know why? Because it means they're imperfect. I know that when I meet them, I'm going to see them for who they are and not like this shrine of perfection. Anyway, yeah. Let's talk about what makes a good leader. Here we go. Hey guys, welcome back to Tell Your Story. My name is Nathan and I've got a really interesting one to talk about tonight. I want to talk to you about why addicts make such amazing leaders. Now, for one, you might be thinking to yourself, Nathan, drug addicts don't make good leaders at all. Well, my friend, that's where you would be super duper wrong, and I'm going to tell you why. Hang on. If you're like me and you're practicing the principles of sobriety, one thing I had to tell you is that in my journey of getting sober, somebody told me that in order to stay away from my worst vices and habits, I had to practice principles in all of my affairs. You might remember that quote if you remember this book called you know what I'm talking about. Let me blow your mind for just a second and let you know I went to Google and I looked up the top 5 traits that most leaders have. Google let me know that the 5 qualities of an effective leader are, they are self-aware and prioritize personal development. They focus on developing others. They encourage strategic thinking, innovation, and action. They are ethical and civic-minded, and they practice effective cross-cultural communication. Are we beginning to see sort of like a similarity here? What hits home is that as a sober person, as someone who went from the darker side of life and has hopped over that fence, I have practiced developing my personal skills day to day. I am crossing cultural boundaries, going along with drug addicts and other people, learning to develop a personality and a new form of human being that is better in every way. That involves working with people that are all types of different personalities, developing all kinds of effective communication, and opening up about myself, being vulnerable and transparent about who I am and where I want to be. If you're on this road to sobriety, if you are like me, training yourself to be a different kind of person, you have all of the traits to be the most effective leader out there. In fact, if you're on a journey with a bunch of people that are in, say, a 12-step group, surrounded by anyone that has a lofty or a lengthy group of, years of sobriety, you're surrounded by leaders. Just think about it. You've taken all of your focus and placed it on one road that is specifically going straight down a path that leads you to a better way of living. That is literally what the mindset of a leader is capable of doing. So that means that every day that you show up, you practice these specific principles, you work on these specific habits that make you daily repetitive. Practice makes perfect, right? Well, we do that to become better people and focused mindset that makes we're in the moment, we're working on our communication skills, our charisma, all of those things are exactly what a leader would do in any situation, whether they're managing money or people or time. Isn't that amazing? So I did go to Facebook with this one, like I usually do, and I did get 1 or 2 specific answers that I want you to hear. Starting like this. I feel like it has to do a lot with how we relate to others. Being in the depths has brought us to a new outlook on humankind. When you treat others the way you'd want to be treated, they in turn respect you. Leaders should be respected, not feared. And most leaders operate from a feared rather than respected standpoint. That's brilliant, because while we're getting out of our yuck and guck on the inside, we're learning to share our story with other people that obviously gains respect when we've spent years trying to stay out of the trenches. This next answer was basically a quote. Let me give it to you. Rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. To carry the message to those who are still sick and suffering, we must become effective leaders in every area of our lives. Attraction, 100%. There are sick and suffering people all over the place, out there in your neighborhood, maybe even in your own home. And as people that are developing on the inside, becoming self-aware, we're learning to talk and speak, communicate, our actions, everything we do is depicted on a way of living that is right and wonderful and beautiful. And that's what makes a great leader. Drug addicts. Who'da thunk it? So that tells me that when you wake up tomorrow, when you get out of the bed, whether that's to go to work, maybe you don't have anything for the day, just think to yourself, the road that I'm on right now is productive, wonderful, and amazing. I am becoming the greatest version of myself I could ever be. Every time I say no to my worst vices, I become a great leader. If you've made it this far, watch this video that's on the screen next, leave a like down below, and guess what? I'll see you in the next one. Peace.